Well, David Lancaster, we have found ourselves in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina for the 9th running of the Southeast Gassers Association. And boy, I tell you what, I thought this was maybe going to be a 9-race schedule this year because it was looking like Myrtle Beach may get canceled. Quang came here early, came here on Wednesday to start kind of laying out the place and getting parking ready. And about Thursday, the water level of the Waccamaw River started backing up and just flooding this joint, you know?
Yeah, and it's really something that's terrible that's happening is there's nowhere for the water to go. And that's causing a real problem in the pits and a problem on the racetrack.
Fortunately, the racetrack itself is just, I'm going to take a stab and say about 1 foot higher than anything else around here because the return road is flooded. The road actually coming into the racetrack is flooded. I'm talking, when I say flood, I'm talking like a foot deep or better of water. And so, as we've said before, you know, sometimes some people see obstacles where others see opportunity. And that's exactly what Quang and Dee and Greg seen here was an opportunity to go ahead and conduct this race and have a really unique event. Now, it's not going to count in points, but the racetrack owner and his group of employees, the team that runs this thing week to week, they ain't missed a beat, son. They stepped up, said, what can we do? What have we got to do? And got all these fans coming in that's been ejected out of their homes over the last week and a half. They're still strong coming in. I think it's going to be quite a turnout, an amazing turnout to have even one here, not to mention hundreds. And so those are all the underlying reasons, I think, why Quang and the guys made a decision, you know, we're going to run this race and put on these people a show.
And you got a lot of guys that's wanting to race, too, and wanting to put that show on for them. So we've got racers here, we got fans here. It's time to put on a show.
It is, and I tell you what, you know, I think it's time to get down to it because everything is ready.
Yeah, and I know I'm ready. That's for sure.
I am. It's been a little while since we got to see a drag race with these old wheel standing gassers, and I know that this racetrack is a little bit narrow compared to what we normally run. And I'm real curious to see what the track owner and his group of people think about this because I think we may catch them by surprise never being here before.
Yeah, their eyes are very open to what we're doing here in the Southeast Gassers, and they are excited as well.
Yep, they are. I know I've been talking with a couple of them, and they're like, man, I can't wait to get this started. Just walking around in the pits, I can see this is going to be a show.
It's going to be a great show, and we're ready to bring it to you.
Well, let's get on with it. I tell you what, I know that qualifying's getting ready to get underway, so enough talking. Let's start seeing some drag racing. David, North Myrtle Beach was certainly some exciting times during qualifying.
Yeah, see Ernie Smith right there. He had a little trouble going left, and there's Tim Greer in the Rambler. He's rambling over to the other lane.
Yes, right. Just taking the choice of whichever lane he wants to go down. There's a close-up of it, almost taking out one of Drone South's on-track race cameras. Jerry Birch coming back through in a free bird. He had transmission problem, broke clutch or transmission, not sure which one it was. Chris Dunn. Massive horsepower in this car and just having a hard time getting it applied.
Looks like a lot of cars pulling left as you see Chris going down through there. Gabriel Burl, great pass right there for the Southern Flyer.
Southern Flyer doing well. Here we got Quang Stock going down in the Grand Illusion. Good clean pass for the old 40 Willies and my brother. Gabriel Burl again. Good pass earlier. This one right here going left, getting out of the groove. Good smoky dig by the boogeyman here.
And then Chris has the same thing, going left hard with all that horsepower, just trying to get it squared up to the track. C-Gas Round 1, North Myrtle Beach Dragway. There you see Tim Bailey in the Alley Cat.
And he's taking on Dean Harris in the Grey Ghost Chevy 2. I tell you what, Dean has held this championship all year, but he has let it slip away.
And great to see the cars coming up the return road being washed out. They came back up the racetrack, and the fans really loved that.
They did, David. Again, the problems that we encountered with this racetrack actually gave us an opportunity to make this a really neat event that kind of really went back to the old days of drag racing.
Ernie Smith and the one gone dog right there. See him in the right-hand lane up against Pucker Time.
Old Steve Helms in the Pucker Time 55. And talk about puckering. This racetrack was causing some of these guys to get real tied in the cheeks, man. She was a handful.
And there you see Ernie. He's going to march on to the win and a great win it was, as he's really been working on his program.
Ernie has done phenomenally well. He has. Ernie got some racing history, but he has really stepped up to the plate in this old Seagas 55, the one gone dog. Now we got Zach Hall in the 57 Chevrolet.
Got Tim Greer over there in the Bonafide Rambler. Tim Greer in the left-hand lane. He's going to look like he's got it going straight down through there. He's going to march on to the win in this round.
A good round win for Tim in the Bonafide Rambler. Tim has been looking for the season for his first round win, and by golly, North Myrtle Beach Dragway gave it to him.
Yeah, he's doing a great job right there. There you see the margin of victory.
And I tell you, what a way to win your first one. Did you see that margin of victory?
A big one right there. As you see Jimmy Huff in the Hoopty Wagon, he's going to be taking on Todd Napier.
Todd Napier in the Atomic Hillbilly. You know, both these guys have supported the Southeast Gassers at basically every venue we've been to. Both of them, you know, deserving of a win. Two good race cars. But I'm going to tell you one thing. Todd has really enjoyed the round wins he was getting in North Myrtle Beach today.
I tell you, Todd really gets him off the line right there. You can see that was over at the line.
It was absolutely over in most drag racers' opinions. That kind of a head start on the starting line usually spells doom for the one in the other lane.
There's your man right there, Rusty Sampson. Look at that burnout in that 55 Bad Banana.
Yeah, the guys at Drone South kind of slowed that down for us, giving us that little illusion of what's actually going on up against Robert Frazier in black and blue. Tell you what, Robert been fighting this car. Rusty Sampson, you don't give him nothing, wheels up, and he's gone with the win.
Gone with the win he is as he marches on to that victory over Robert Frazier. But good to see Robert making some horsepower strides.
That it is. That certainly is. Robert's told me in the last 2 or 3 races, if he don't get this thing competitive, he's just going to run it into the guardrail. I don't think he's going to do that, but it does let me know that he's very focused on getting this car running. Next up, got Troy Leitner in this hot rod Henry J over there, small block Chevrolet, fuel injection, 4-speed as most of all of these cars are, of course. Troy having some trouble getting off of the starting line, handing it over initially to Larry Knoll.
And he's going to run him down. Looks like on the top end, he's coming on strong. And at the line, looks like he gets him.
You know, you'll see here in just a minute in this finish line footage, Troy does sneak back around Larry. Larry having some problems down track. Look at that finish. Who would have ever guessed that?
That was a great finish right there. Now you see Josh Owens in the 53 Chevy, the White Lightning, coming up.
Josh rolling up there against
Ronnie Lineberger.
Ronnie Lineberger and the Bowtie Buzzard 55 Chevrolet. Two good cars. Good back shot of Joseph Ross there. Maybe his best side. Doing the flag starting again because of problems with the racetrack, which gave us the opportunity to produce a really unique drag race that the fans truly enjoyed. Now, you see Joseph Ross right here flagging over to Josh. Joseph is calling that a red light start because he seen Josh move before he actually raised the flag.
Yeah, Josh got a red light there as we see Jared Bailey going to be on a single right here as Jerry Birch unable to make it in that beautiful 41 Studebaker.
David, I think you've had some conversation with some kids in the stands. Looking forward to that.
North Myrtle Beach Dragway, how you liking the race?
I'm liking it. I like it a lot.
All right, Ellen, where are you from?
From Mars Inlet.
All right, Myrtle's Inlet. You drove a long way to get to North Myrtle Beach, didn't you?
No, I didn't, but it was a little.
Just a little way. Which car is your favorite today?
The black one.
Which one? The black one, the black and blue? Robert Frazier? Yeah. How about you? Which car do you like?
The Tasmanian Devil.
The Tasmanian Devil, yeah, Gary Klein, yeah. What's your name?
Molly Helms.
All right, Molly, do you have a favorite car?
The silver and green one.
The Boogeyman. Yeah, the silver and green. Yeah, he's a real sparkly car, isn't it?
Yes.
A-Gas round one got boss man Quayne Stott and the Grand Illusion 40 Willys coming up here to take out Kenneth Phillips.
Kenneth got that motor back in that car. It's good to see him back out here with us on the Southeast Gas Tour.
He did. Kenneth had some motor damage, pretty serious motor damage in that hot rod, but that's a lot of horsepower in that thing over there. I think they got it all fixed up, ready to rock and roll. Kenneth making strong runs on our qualifying passes. Let's see if he's got enough to take brother out of the picture in round one for A-Gas, North Myrtle Beach.
Big matchup right here for sure. As you see him bringing them in and flagging them down. There's Kenneth down and gone as he grabs second gear, keeps it straight.
Boy, he did. You know, he actually left on Quayne, and you can see right there on Joseph Ross's backside. You don't give Kenneth nothing, Quayne, buddy. You got to know that, because that dog was gone.
Yeah, I think third gear got a little squirrely on Quayne, and there you see the margin of victory kind of big.
Yeah, that one was two different zip codes, I think.
Justin Moses and Gary Klein. There's Gary in that beautiful Tasmanian Devil Willys.
Yes, sir, and Justin Moses in the old 56 Chevrolet over there. Justin been racing with us for a long time. Tasmanian Devil Gary kind of started racing with us last year, I believe, is when he first came to join the Southeast Gassers. Both these cars, good hot rods, good race cars, both of them big block Chevrolet powered. Let's see who comes out on top.
Good run right there. As you see Justin get toward the center line, looks like Gary Klein's going to take it on down there for the victory.
It did. Both cars kind of coming over to meet door handles to the center of the racetrack, but I do believe Gary takes it, by a fudge. Good thing we had the camera on this one because, again, we didn't have no electronics at this race, which afforded us a really unique drag race.
Next up, we're going to have our hot shoes here, our young guns, as we like to call them, Gabriel Burl in that 64 Ford Falcon and Donovan Stott in the 48 Anglia.
Donovan and Gabriel, you know, these guys are cousins. They are good friends at home. But right now, there's a race to be won. And I tell you, these were two good shots right here, David, that people may not acknowledge. Look at how far back the drivers sit in these cars. That's one of the things that makes them cool, but it's because of the engine setback and stuff like that in these cars to make them work. Donovan having a good starting line reaction, and a good thing because he had to drop the throttle down there just before the finish line, but he still narrowly took that win from Gabriel.
In here with a minute with Gabriel Burl. Gabriel, thank you for taking the time being with us tonight.
Yes, sir. Glad to be here. Glad to be part of the Southeast Gassers down here in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina this weekend.
I tell you what, you had a pretty good weekend. Your car looked real fast this weekend. I know you've been working hard on it. Tell us some of the things you've been working on.
We've changed everything from the front to back and top to bottom. This week we had a little issue with the distributor we found, I think. Hopefully fixed something and changed some jetting in the carburetors and made a wheelie bar change, and the car felt like it picked up. We don't really know whether the clocks were today, but I think the car picked up.
Well, I can tell you about it passed the eye test in picking up, and I know you do a lot of work on this yourself. Gabriel, how old are you?
Be 29 in 2 weeks.
So 29-year-old, one of our young guns right here. I would talk about that a lot with you and Donovan being so young. What attracts you to the period correct cars?
I grew up around the early Mustangs and just kind of all into cars my whole life, and I just kind of liked early things. I always looked for airheads when I was a kid and then collected bottles and just liked old stuff. And then this came around and it's best of both worlds. I always wanted a race car and I got to have an old car, and I like 4-speeds. So.
And why did you pick the Falcon?
I'm a Ford man. I liked the early body style Falcons. I was a Mustang man, but a Mustang just didn't click with the Gassers to me. And I like the early Falcons, and I like the roofline on the 63 Sprint, so it just kind of fit.
Well, and a beautiful car you guys have put together called the Southern Flyer. I love the gold and black scheme that you guys have. And, you know, so you're 29 years old. You're from Green Creek, North Carolina. And how much involvement do you and your dad, does your dad help you a lot on the car, or what's his involvement?
Dad's there for moral support mostly, I guess, in terms of the car. Anything I need, he'd be more than glad to help with, but it's kind of, he lives 15 miles away. If I need something, he's always there, but go borrow a tool if I need it, go borrow a cherry picker if I need it, but, you know, anything I need, he'll help, but it's pretty much me, and then I get help from Quayne, and Donovan gets gypped mostly more than anybody on help side.
So 29 years old, you're wrenching this thing yourself. Gotta love the fact that somebody your age is working on these 60 era cars and the period correctness and you know, not hiring some tuner to do it for them.
Yeah, we just get out in the garage, a couple of buddies come over and turn on some old country music and wrench on it.
And where did you go to high school at?
Landrum High School in South Carolina. Graduated 10 years ago this year.
So Landrum High graduate 10 years ago. And Gabriel, what do you like to do when you're not at the racetrack?
Mess with cars. I've got a 31 Ford and 2 Mustangs I tinker with, and got street bikes we ride a good bit too. Just anything with wheels we mess with. That's pretty much it.
So it's pretty much running through your blood the whole time. You just a racer or a car enthusiast, just a motorsports enthusiast at heart.
Yeah, it's got a motor. I like it. That's pretty much all I mess with. I mean, a little bit of guns, a little bit of everything. Everybody around the house is into the same kind of thing, but pretty much cars. 2 wheels, 4 wheels, 3 wheels, 8 wheels, whatever it's got, we like it. I mean.
And what are you looking for? In you got one more race left at Greer, got the finals at Greer, and I'm guessing you're looking for 2017. What you planning any changes for your Southern Flyer car or anything of that nature?
We're planning a new motor this winter. If the car don't pick up enough by Greer, we're planning a new motor for this winter, either a bigger motor for A-gas or a smaller motor for C-gas. We haven't made the decision yet. Either a 12,000 RPM C-gas motor or a big cubic inch A-gas motor, one or the other. We haven't made the decision yet, but we've discussed it, and it'll be in the works here within the next 2 months.
So definitely going to be with us still on the Gasser Tour, but just don't know what capacity yet.
I will be here 100%. As long as my veins are pumping blood, I'll be here.
Well, Gabriel Burl, I know you're an asset to the Southeast Gassers. We're glad you're here. Thank you for taking a minute with us here at North Myrtle Beach Dragway.
Thank you for your time, and appreciate what y'all do for us, and had a great time this weekend, and we'll have a good time here at Greer in 2 weeks.
That's Gabriel Burl in a minute with. C-Gas round 2 going to pit Jared Bailey up against Rusty Samsel in the first matchup.
You know, Rusty in the 55 just can't never say enough about him, but this 41 Studebaker, Jared Bailey's over here, really coming around. This is a new car that was brought out about 3 races ago by the Bailey family, and I tell you what, this thing has really gotten faster, literally, every race they went to.
And Jared's doing a great job driving every pass. There you see a great start. Rusty uncharacteristically goes a little left.
He does. This racetrack not being wide enough to provide any margin of error in that regard, but as you said, Jared getting the whole shot on Rusty, and Rusty going a little bit left. Jared's performance all put together for a win, as you see right there.
Big win for him. Next up, we're going to have Tim Bailey versus Tim Greer, the Alley Cat and the Bonafide.
You know, the battle of the Tims. There again, Tim Bailey, father of Jared, who we just watched taking the win for second round in that 41 Studebaker. Tim is dad in this 41 Willys, the Alley Cat. Ready to do some shredding of the Bonafide Rambler over here. Tim Greer looking for his second round win of the season in C-Gas with the Southeast Gassers Association. Tim winning his first round of eliminations at the first round of this race for the year. Tim taking this one an easy victory. Tim Bailey obviously having some issues getting off the starting line with the Alley Cat.
Yeah, definitely uncharacteristic for the Alley Cat, Tim Bailey right there. As you see, Greer marches on for the win, and then he's going to move on to round 3. Todd Napier, the Atomic Hillbilly, coming up next against Ronnie Lineberger in the Bowtie Buzzer.
You know, again, David, as we were talking earlier, Todd Napier, I tell you what, that guy enjoys winning. There's just no doubt about it. He has a smile on his face. He really enjoys it. I know Ronnie would be the same way, but I tell you what, Todd has been to basically every race with us this year, and I am happy to see him winning some rounds. I'm happy to see him in round 2. I'm glad to see Ronnie Lineberger in round 2. Now, all we got to do is let him get up here with Joseph Ross, flag start him, and find out who goes third round.
Great lead by both cars, wheels up. Looks like Todd Napier is going to grab the advantage. Lineberger's out of it, and that's going to move the Atomic Hillbilly on to the next round.
That was a pretty clean start. If I had to give it to one by the eye, I would say Ronnie had the whole shot, but Todd had the horsepower.
Here we go, Troy Leitner in the Shake and Bacon 51 Henry J. He's going to be up next against Ernie Smith.
And the one gone dog. You know, Ernie's been talking about all these competitors of his getting dog bit. I think that's kind of funny because, that one gone dog, she pretty bad. She got the capable of leaving some teeth marks. And here is an example of that. Ernie out of the gate. Troy having a little bit of trouble getting off the starting line. He's having some issues with the fuel injection on that hot rod. And I tell you what, one gone dog done bit a nose.
I tell you what, he got a mouthful that time of the bacon. C-Gas semifinals, Ernie Smith in the one gone dog versus Jared Bailey in the Hitman.
You know, the old Hitman is doing just that, David. He is taking these guys out with lethal shots every round so far leading up to this third round. He's got a tough one over there with Ernie and the Gone Dog. I know Ernie planning on leaving some teeth marks on that old Hitman. I tell you what, it's going to be a good race. I don't know that he's going to be able to get close enough. I believe that Hitman got one of them old, what they call them old machine guns back in the day?
Tommy gun.
Tommy gun.
There you go. You see a great launch by both cars, and Jared Bailey going down in the right side. Coming back strong's Ernie Smith. Let's check him at the line.
I tell you what, David, this is a good drag race. Two good clean launches, cars hitting gears together, but look right there. Hitman taking it out, sending Ernie home.
What a great drag race for both of those cars. The deepest anyone's been for those two cars in the C-Gas this year.
That's right. Both of them looking for their first win. Now we got Tim Bailey coming up. Tim Greer, I'm sorry. Too many Tims out here these days. Got Tim Greer coming up to take on Todd Napier in the Atomic Hillbilly. Tim Greer won one round, which was his first for the year. Won second round, which was his first for the year. Now he's looking at a third round win against Todd Napier, but I tell you, from that start, it ain't happening. The Atomic Hillbilly just exploded off of the line.
He sure did. You can see it right there as Napier has been on those flags all day. I think Greer gets out of it, and he rambles on by here in a minute.
A-Gas semifinal, and boy, do we have a matchup starting out here. Kenneth Phillips in the Silver Streak and Donovan Stott, the young gun, in the White Trash Anglia. You know, David, Kenneth has had some motor issues earlier in the year, but I think they're sorted out, and man, is that thing running at this racetrack.
Yeah, it is a Silver Streak for sure. There you see Megan backing up Donovan into his tracks.
Well, that is ironically Kenneth's daughter and Donovan's girlfriend, which may become my daughter-in-law. Who knows? But nonetheless, watch this drag race. Donovan's car making a left in second gear. Kenneth staying straight till about third gear. Then Kenneth coming over to meet Donovan in the center line. Donovan actually stepping over. I think Donovan thought that Kenneth was coming into him. Needless to say, look at that finish. A good finish. Neither car crossed the center line. That was checked and verified. Kenneth is the official winner of that round. Packing Donovan up on the trailer. Next up, Tasmanian Devil Gary Klein got a bye run. Chris Dunn broke, unable to make it up. So Tasmanian Devil got an opportunity here just to play and see if he can find anything that might be a threat to that Silver Streak in the final round.
See a great shot there. The fans going down as Klein just misses it just a couple of times there. No opposition in the other lane for him. I tell you what, we had a great fan support out here at this race. Todd Napier got this Atomic Hillbilly going to the finals. It's been a great day here at North Myrtle Beach.
Yes, sir, it has. It's unexpected. I'm really happy. I'm really excited.
She's been going straight for you and true, and hadn't had any problems. You guys have really been consistent today.
Yeah, we've been working on it. We're trying to figure it out, and I hope we're figuring it out. It seems like it's coming together.
Well, and hadn't faced any slouches in any opponents either. You've been going through this thing through a tough bracket.
Yes, sir, I have. I've been against some hard competitors, some of them guys that makes your palms sweat, Can't let your guard down.
That's for sure. Now, what are we looking at? Are we doing any major changes in the air gap or anything on the finals, or are we just going to rewind it and put it right back where it was?
I think I got my best tune and set up the way I need, and I haven't touched it since, so I'm just going with the flow, and it seems to be working out fine, so I'm going to stick with that.
Did you have an easy trip getting down here? I know that there's been some things, road-wise that some people have had to work around with. Is it okay you getting down here?
Yeah, we had a fuel filter on the side of the highway. Road went down. We fixed that, and then propane issue, but then, we made it.
That's great. I'm glad to hear you guys had a good trip down here. It's been a great trip for you, a good day. We look forward to seeing you put it in victory lane.
Yes, sir. Thank you, and we're going to try like the heck.
That's Todd Napier, Atomic Hillbilly here at North Myrtle Beach. C-Gas Finals, Mitch, going to see Todd Napier matched up against the hitman, Jared Bailey.
Jared Bailey and Todd, this is both of these guys' first time visit to the final round with the Southeast Gassers Association. As you can see, getting later in the evening, the lights on, and the crowd that we had, considering the weather conditions, the hurricane surrounding the Myrtle Beach area and this drag strip, 500 some spectators still hanging out late at night to see the final round of this event. Jared Bailey leaving first, and you know, David, he's drove a perfect race all day long.
And there we're going to see at the finish line, he's going to be able to take it by the narrowest of margins over Todd Napier. Great shot of our fans there. Jared Bailey.
Yes, sir.
Park this thing in Victory Circle. This 41 Studebaker. What a beautiful car. Great job today.
Thank you very much. Couldn't done it without Dad. We built this car all year, mainly him, but I drove it best I could, and we had a very good day. Very good day.
Well, and you guys battled to get here out of North Carolina with all these rains and everything, and we're just glad to have you here. Tell us about what that feeling was like when you knew you won it.
Well, it's an accomplishment. I've never won a C-gas race. I've never won a gas race. So, I mean, it's put the first Bailey in winner's circle. He's in November, I promise you that.
Tim, now that's a little challenge to you there. Now, you've been to some finals, and you Bailey boys have got these things running good.
Well, we were hoping that it'd be that way today, but
we should have met in
we should have met in the finals. I mean, and that's no disrespect to any of these other guys, because we got some quick guys in C-gas. A-gas guys can look around if they want to, but we got some quick ones.
Very true.
So, and they ain't seen all the speed yet.
That's right. We're going to keep tuning on these things.
So the Bailey boys throwing down the gauntlet right here at North Myrtle Beach to let them know, Greer Dragway, you better have your stuff together.
That's right.
Call it what you want to.
You're going to see us there. We'll be there.
Jared Bailey, congratulations. Tim, I know you're a proud dad. Ready to go back-to-back at Greer.
If I was as good a driver as he is, I'd probably be here already.
Good job, guys. Congratulations again. Congratulations, Tim.
Kings of the Egg Southeast Gassers Association, the A-Gas final round. Kenneth Phillips in the Silver Streak, Gary Klein in the Tasmanian Devil. What do you see here, David?
I tell you what, this streak is going to be hard to beat, especially after Klein had some, malfunctions come up in the shift in the semifinal round.
That it is. Kenneth has really not made a mistake all day long. Drove a perfect race. Good reactions to Joseph Ross and the flag starts that we're doing. Had a one round there, I think, where Kenneth got over on the center line, but he did not cross it. There again, clean start by Kenneth in the Silver Streak, and it is just that. It is a gone streak, man.
Great shot right here, as you see from the GoPro, how he pulls second gear and just keeps pulling
Just
off.
walking away from that Tasmanian Devil. You know, Gary, if he plans on winning a race with Kenneth Phillips, he better get some work done.
Great job by Kenneth and his crews there, as you see the margin of victory as he marches on to the A-Gas win here at North Myrtle Beach Dragway. Hey, Kenneth Phillips, A-Gas winner right here. Good to see them pearly whites again, smiling so bright.
Yeah, I'm glad to win. We've been on a roll all year trying to win, and we finally got it.
And you did a great job today. This car was going really straight for you.
Yep. It's been going good. It's just kind of been our mistakes the whole time. We finally got it straightened out. Got me straightened out, maybe. So maybe we can win some now.
Well, I know you got to be looking forward to that 2 weeks, November 5th at Greer for them finals.
I am. I'm ready. I hope I can win that. I'm back in the points. I can't do nothing with the points, but I can win the race.
You can play a spoiler for somebody as close as things are getting.
Good. Yeah, I could be right there in the middle of them.
And with that little old grin on your face, I know you'd like to be right there and be a spoiler for somebody.
I'd like to be right there in the middle of them, yeah.
Kenneth Phillips, great job today, North Myrtle Beach Dragway. Congratulations on your A-Gas win.
All right, thank you.
David, North Myrtle Beach and the weather that has happened here over the past week and a half or so with the hurricanes, the North Myrtle Beach drag strip has really provided an opportunity for the Southeast Gassers to put on a really unique show where we didn't have any electronics, no starting line, no finish line, no nothing. Now this is authentic as it gets. Flag start performed by Joseph Ross. You tell the rest of the story.
I tell you what, it was true period correct. I mean, we had to improvise every way possible. I know Quayne agonized over the decision to cancel the event or have the event. We had so many people here. So many people had made the pull to get here. Rusty came all the way from Michigan again.
Yep.
And he didn't want these guys not to be able to race, and he didn't want these fans not to be able to see the event. And we had the guys from Aces High Tattoos. We had the Assorted Nuts Car Club. It really went out of their way to promote the event, as well as Stephen Smith and his family. And we were able to put on a great show, even more authentic, I thought, in period correctness.
That's true, and definitely hats off to Aces High and the Assorted Nuts Car Club, Aces High Tattoo. Those guys done a tremendous job of promoting this race before the race, and along with the coordination with Stephen Smith and his family, it was one of those things to where you was talking about people who made the pull. Let's talk about the spectators just a minute. These people absolutely were disrupted from their homes. Hundreds of thousands of people, ordered by the evacuation by the governor. And they just got to move back in like Tuesday or Wednesday of this week. And 2 days later, they say, hey, honey, let's go out and watch a drag race. I just don't think that was the highest thing on their priority list. But some 500 plus people made the decision to do that. And I think that is one of the greatest examples of the power of the Southeast Gassers Association of anything we've seen so far this year, even with all the attendance records we have broken at various tracks across the country. But that, I think, is the bigger reason why the Southeast Gassers decision makers, Quayne Stott, D. Bragg, and Greg Waldrop, made the decision to go ahead and run this race because there's no points involved. The racers are running this race literally for the benefit of the spectators in the stands. And I think that's a worthy reason to run a race. And so, boy, did it put on a show for them, because the racetrack's a little bit narrow. I don't think that the track owner and operating group or team, the wonderful job they did, but I think we caught them by surprise to the power and the wildness of these manually shifted 4-speed cars and the horsepower that they have. But that group, track owner and his team, they didn't back down from nothing.
They did not. They took the challenge and they brought in sand. They made dikes to try to keep the water back from getting on the track. We had such a good response and such a great feel. They kind of are now our family, because their hospitality was great. The food was outstanding.
Oh yeah,
in the
great
concession
food.
areas. You just really hope that you brought some joy into the people of that area, for them to be able to come out and get away from the worries that they had that their house might still have standing water in it, to come out and enjoy a day at the races.
Well, I think that the whole group is a whole, that bringing in the track and track operators as a family to the Southeast Gassers, because there was absolutely no question from those guys, owner and operators, that you are coming back next year, right? So they definitely know what to be prepared for next year. They see that this is a show to be talked about and a show to be shown and a show to be watched. And so I definitely look forward to coming back to Myrtle Beach next year, because I'm just 99% certain we will be back.
Well, and the guys again at Aces High Tattoos, Boot Leonard and his crew did a great job. The Assorted Nuts Car Club couldn't ask for better hospitality and bringing the spectators out. They did a great job.
Well, that's true, and again, I'll second that, every word you just said. But David, it's always time to close an event, and this is the time. What a race we've had, people. If you missed it, you missed a really unique race. Even what we didn't mention, coming back down the racetrack for the return, because the return roads was even flooded. That's just unique, but it gave the fans an extra opportunity to see these cars and the drivers, and it really engaged them. But to go on with the closing, North Myrtle Beach, a wonderful drag race. We put on a good show. The fans had a great time. As David, as you said, get them out of their house, get them away from their worries. If we helped them there, then thank goodness. But as we always do, dear Father, we come to you in prayer. We thank you for the opportunity to run this race, and the problems that were created, we found those to be opportunities in your blessing. And so we pray that everyone here, fans, spectators, drivers, competitors, and people employed, find a safe way home, and they find Savior in you, Jesus Christ our Lord. In your name we pray. Amen.